Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm the Gnarly Gnome. This is Cincy Brewcast. It's the voice of Cincy Craft. We're back, and this is a fun one. This is one of those shows that it's become an annual tradition for us to sit down and talk about this beer festival. I'm a sucker for beer festivals. We'll get into all of that. I just want to remind everybody before we get into it that this show is brought to you by people like you. If you like the show, if you've been listening for a while or are new to this and you really like it, just go to thegnarlygnome.com/support and you can support what I do that way. I'll probably pester you again at the end of the show to do that. But welcome back. This is Bacchus Beerfest. I think last time it had a different name when we were here, and I probably made
the beer fest formerly known as Oakley.
I probably made at least one joke that we were doing a beer festival called the Oakley Beer Fest, not an Oakley, but it's fine. It's got a new name. It's got a new personality. Same personality. It's the same beer festival, just different name.
Just think bigger. If you're here last year and you had a great time, double the size of last year.
You're going to have even more of a great time. We'll get into kind of all the specifics about it, but this is a beer podcast, which means before we start, we have to talk about beer a little bit. I am drinking a beer, although I haven't taken a sip yet. I went with Darkness, Awaken the Schwartz. It's Awaken, right? It's something about the Schwartz, some kind of a Spaceballs reference, which, not to get off topic before I even take a sip of my beer, I heard that they're working on another Spaceballs movie. Yeah. Have you guys heard this?
I have. The Search for More Money is the sequel. It's called Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
It'll be great. Come on.
I can't wait.
Sounds on brand.
I'm excited too.
We're missing John Candy, though, which I don't know how I can watch without John Candy.
There's nobody that can fill his shoes, but there are other characters that could kind of fill that spot in there. It'll be fine. While I'm drinking, run around the table. Everybody introduce yourselves. Tell people who you are and how you are involved with all of this, because we have a lot of different roles here.
Sure. Bill Marx, Bacchus Entertainment. We do a little bit of everything from trivia to bingo to beer festivals. So.
I'm Mandy Taylor. I'm the Director of Operations for Element Eatery, and we are partnering with Bacchus for the Beer Fest, and I'm really excited to host. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. My name is Jack Hughes. I'm the bar manager here at the Garden Bar at Element Eatery. We just opened in the past month. It's been a lot of fun, and we're super excited for Bacchus Beerfest. It's going to be our great first event, and we just can't wait to get ripping and running and get some beers going.
Heck yeah. And this, if anybody hasn't ever been to Element Eatery as far as like beer drinkers go, it might be one of those places that kind of falls through the cracks for people of beer bars. This is an incredible bar here. How many taps do you guys have?
We have 48 taps.
48 taps. Yeah. Some of those I assume are duplicate. No,
Nope.
They are not.
Any duplicates.
Duplicates, which is amazing.
It's one of those places that you can go, and no matter what kind of beer you're looking for, even if you've got somebody in your group that really likes those other big macro brands, there is something here that will make everybody happy.
Exactly.
Really, really underappreciated place to sit down and have a beer and eat. Because the food here also may be underappreciated. Maybe not. Maybe the food. Maybe people get the food. There's been other food halls that have popped up throughout the years around town, or maybe still exist in other places that just have never kind of scratched that itch for me. I'll never find myself being like, you know what, I'm going to go there and eat. This is one of those places that I will go out of my way and go, I'm going to go eat there, because maybe I can't make up my mind, or maybe there is a certain place or two here that I'm like, I need to go there to get that. It's just a really great place to eat.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
It's good to meet friends here, because then you don't have to decide on, do we just want pizza, or we just want Italian, or
right.
You can something for everyone.
Yeah, my friends appreciate that it's a place that you can go that I'm not going to tell you where we have to eat, because I usually am the one that makes the decision. I'm just like, this is where we're going. It's where I need to go right now. I need to get this, or I need to get that. It really is a fantastic place. If you haven't been here, get here. I will go and say, come here for the beer fest, and then you can see how amazing it is, and then come later again afterwards. Because unlike a lot of beer festivals, there is this whole indoor section here where you can go and you can sit down, you can take a break from kind of the craziness outside, sometimes the heat outside, depending on what the day is like. Come sit down, have something to eat.
Yeah.
Not only do we get some heat next weekend, so it is going to be May 17th. So last year we were blessed with about 85 and sunny.
It was.
So I would be perfectly fine if the same weather came back.
It was warm last year.
And then, because it was like 55 the day before, and then also it was 85, and everyone was going to sunburn.
Right. I'll take it. I'll definitely
bring
take
your
it.
sunscreen.
It's going to be perfect.
So Darkness making the Schwartz. I had my sip. It's amazing. I've probably had it on the show before at some point. If not, I've drank it somewhere. I drink this beer all the time right now. It's a really great Schwartz beer, kind of smooth, and it doesn't have that kind of. Some Schwartz beers have a real kind of roasty, kind of almost harshness to them, and this does not have that. It's like smooth and almost creamy, and just it's such a good beer. I could drink a whole bunch of this.
So good. We actually have 2 Darkness taps right now. One's Mayan Sacrifice, which, if you've had that, is delicious.
I would put that on the current. I'm trying to think of a good number, not to make people. We'll say top 15 list of beers in this city.
So
Mayan
good.
Sacrifice is incredible and kind of hard to find outside of Kentucky. So if you're a Darkness fan, you don't want to brave crossing the river. It's not that bad, you guys, but if I get it, there's a lot of you that are like that. You can swing by here and grab it. It's I don't know that many other places around town where you can get on tap.
But a big fan of going to Darkness also. For the Come to Element, but also go to Darkness.
Yes, you can probably do them both in the same weekend.
Oh, yeah,
Just
definitely. Different vibes.
Let's start with the beer fest. If you can describe the vibe of Bacchus Beerfest, how would you describe that to people? Because I think that's what people are looking for.
It's an all-inclusive event. There's going to be something for everyone. If you're a die-hard beer lover, we've got beer. If you like seltzer, we've got seltzer.
Oh, but surely, Bill, you don't mean everybody. My friend only drinks THC beverages.
Oh, well, we got THC beverages, too. I even got a tequila-based drink coming.
Ooh.
I have funny water coming. So if you just want to drink water and get a little drunk, you're fine.
The funny water, that's the stuff that's not carbonated, right?
Correct. Not carbonated.
I like that stuff.
Different flavor. Yeah, it's really refreshing, especially on a hot day.
Kickstand cocktails.
Yep, Kickstand will be here.
Really, really good. They're all spicy, different levels of spiciness. On one of my other podcasts, I sat and drank them all one night just to see what they were like, and they're all fantastic.
I did that with Floral one time. I made that mistake. Trying all those. I'm not anybody that smokes or anything. Those are delicious. The cocktails, they're so good.
Well, and that's
In fact, I think we did it with you, didn't we?
Probably. The floral is, I think, a really nice way for people to kind of jump into the THC beverages too, because they're like 2.5 milligrams or something, aren't they?
2.5, I believe.
So it's you can kind of ease your way into it instead of jumping into some of the bigger ones, which sometimes will just leave you melting in a chair if you don't know what you're getting into.
Or eating at every stall at Element Eatery. Yeah.
There was one night, another rabbit hole. There was one night where we were camping and we were sitting around the campfire one night, and we were drinking a bunch of. It was edibles. We were eating edibles, and I was like, "Man, these things are just they're not hitting me the way I was expecting them to." And I'm like, I think I need to have another one. And I looked down, and there were like 6 bags of chips at my feet, empty. And I'm like, oh,
Oopsies.
I probably shouldn't take another one.
We've got Astasi, which is the new TH beverage. It's owned by the owners of 50 West.
Stasi's high grain.
Or high grain, excuse me,
Yeah.
high grain. I was going to say high grain next because they're bringing a sour that's really good, a strawberry rhubarb sour, which I love. So we've got some sours, we've got IPAs, we've got Westside Brewing bringing their double IPA and their triple IPA.
Beer Festival is the perfect situation to drink the triple IPA. Although if you wander into Element Eatery and you decide you need a glass of triple IPA, I think you can do that. But it's Beer Festival.
It's perfectly reasonable.
Beer Festival is the perfect time to do it. It's a big old beer.
It's
But
delicious.
yeah, there's a ton of really great stuff on the beer list. Beer list will be. It'll be dropping. I would say dropping, debuting the same time. The next when we're recording this next week, when this drops, is we'll have it'll be.
So we're gonna talk about it right now. So whenever you drop this, but it'll be going out to everyone Friday.
Perfect. So it'll be in the show notes. So there'll be a link to it in the show notes, and you can click on it and you can see all the stuff that we're talking about. But really, really, really great stuff on there. What are you most excited about on the beer list?
The triple IPA.
Yeah. He's been talking about that for a while
I'm
now.
a huge Westside Brewing fan, and their double IPA is probably the best IPA in the city, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
But the Tippa is just a step further on the deliciousness scale, on top of it being like 12%.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it'll get you drunk.
Well, that's part of what I love about beer festivals is that there are things like that maybe I'm probably not going to order when I'm sitting at a bar because it is so high ABV. But when I'm in a beer festival, I can try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I can try some of those things that you might not, the weed water. Sometimes I don't want to. I don't want to drink weed water, but I might want to taste it. Which, especially like the Astasi, are way more like almost like mineral watery kind of versions of it, whereas floral is way more kind of cocktail or seltzer kind of personality. So there are these different things that it's hard for people to kind of understand until you get a chance to taste them and kind of see for yourself.
Even if you're a Bud Light drinker per se, or a Miller drinker,
I don't think there's any of those that listen to this show.
You never know. They're in the closet, or they're underneath the bar, whatever you want to call it.
There might be a couple
of
High Life drinkers.
They're still learning from you.
But like Sin Bev's going to bring Hootie Delight, just a Cincinnati stalwart. Sam Adams is bringing their Sam Adams Light. Saunders is going to bring their Eagle Light.
Yeah.
So there'll be some stuff that if you're not that adventurous, you don't want to try a sour or a Mexican style or
Braxton with their new Blueprint. That's one that I think a lot of people haven't tried. That's on there, right?
Blueprint lager will be here, yes.
That's kind of their American light lager that they're getting ready to kind of kick out pretty big, I think. And I think there's a lot of people that haven't gotten a chance to try it yet.
Yeah, so it's a really good opportunity. With your tickets, you get either 10 or 20 tasters. And they're 5-ounce tasters. So it's a great value for the money on top of all the entertainment. Yeah. On top of the vendors we're going to have here. You get pretzels for free. We'll have a water station for everyone, so stay hydrated. Obviously, there's 10 different food vendors in here. And even if you don't like beer and you just want a cocktail, there's a full bar. So there's literally something for everyone.
And tons of entertainment as well.
Yeah, let's talk about the entertainment a little bit. If you haven't been to Element Eatery, right outside of the indoor space, there's these little streets here, and at the end of the streets there is a big stage. It's going to be full of music all day, right?
Yeah. So John from iHeartRadio and Kiss will start us off with the kind of the VIP early bird.
Will he be dressed like an elf?
We might be able to talk him into dressing something. I'm trying to buy him one of those beer suits so he just walks around and looks like a big beer mug all day. But then we've got Billy Carey and Megan Miller. Megan Miller's band Cassette Junkie actually will be launching the stage this Saturday, May 10th, here at Element Eatery. So if you've not seen her play, it's a fantastic show.
When the show, it already happened.
Well, we're a little bit behind.
When you're listening to this.
Then we've got Lee Dixon from Den Deluxe with Maddie Rose, and then of course our headliner this year is the Naked Karate Girls.
I've never heard of them. Never heard of them at all.
They've been around doing shows once or twice, here and there. But they're a good party band. Like, you want to come, have a good time, dance, drink. They're going to play for 3 straight hours.
Well, and it's because the stage is outside. If you don't want to be kind of inundated with music, you can come. You can sit inside. It's a little quieter vibe. You can sit down at a table, have something to eat. Like, just the different experiences that having it here provides for people is something that's very unique compared to a lot of other beer festivals. Let's go down that rabbit hole. Beer festivals. What makes a good beer festival for? I assume you guys have all been to other beer festivals, right? Yeah. What makes a good beer festival? What are you looking for?
Free parking. And we have plenty of free parking.
That is a big one.
The lot over there is paved now.
Yeah.
It was not paved the last time I was here.
And it's still free.
Yeah.
And it's still free. That's one thing that I've had an issue. I don't know if it's an issue because it is what it is. But when you go to, let's say, a downtown beer festival, you're paying $20, $30, or go to a Bengals game, you're paying $60 to park on top of the ticket price.
Right.
Ticket price right now is pretty inexpensive, and parking's free. So, and even if you don't want to come to the beer festival, you still want to eat, Element Eatery is still going to be open to the public.
Right.
Yes.
So if you just want to come and hang out and grab something to eat, or like I said, if you're not a beer drinker and you want a cocktail, you can come still hang out and have a cocktail. That's the cool thing, is you don't necessarily have to have a ticket to be on the grounds that day.
Right.
Now, to drink the beer we're doing, you have to have a ticket. But just to come and hang out, grab something to eat, see what's going on. You're
enjoy the music.
You can come be a looky-loo if you want to. Now, don't get me wrong, we want you to buy a ticket. But there's plenty of opportunity to hang out. There's a massive space, plenty of room to stretch your legs and have a good time.
Things that people don't know that I think is good to tell everyone is we have a garage that is also free. People think that you have to pay to park there sometimes, and it is free. So I think that's something good for everyone to be aware of.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
We came over here for dinner a month ago or so with my parents, and my mom's a little boring. She doesn't like to get out, and I was we got to go to Alara, and she's like, okay, we'll go there, but where do I park? We don't want to park somewhere and have to walk. I'm like, no, there's a garage.
Yeah.
Just park in the garage, and it's right there. And it was the thing that convinced them to come over here. It's like, it's
Good.
easy to park, it's simple, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Without being too far away from everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, great dinner for the record. If anybody hasn't been to Alara,
we've
go
been
there.
dying to go.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, I have as well.
It's so good.
I think I walked past their kitchen hoods and it just smells like dry aged steaks.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, it's incredible.
But what are so parking is important for beer festivals. What are the other things that kind of make a great festival for you guys?
Of course, well, just like a music festival, I think the lineup, is a big draw, and the
Yeah.
lineup's incredible. I mean, you got stuff from all over the state, all over the city.
What are you most excited about?
Oh my gosh, I think the variety itself is like the most appealing thing, because someone like me, I enjoy everything from a
Feel free to
sour
look at
to a trippa to a THC beverage. So that's what's fun to me. It's like, I haven't, or if you don't have the time to make it out to newer breweries or stuff like that, all being in one place is a great place to try stuff.
That's something that should be pointed out with this list too. Like there are several, and we'll call them newer because I guess depending on what you consider new, DVD is on there.
Yeah, I haven't been
Hearth
there.
Brewing is on there. There's a lot of places that people haven't gotten a chance to experience yet.
Yeah.
But this gives you that little sneak peek at it, and hopefully then convinces them to go to the brewery
like,
itself.
I've
We
heard
have
of it.
North High coming from Columbus. We've got Great Lakes from Cleveland. Saucy Brew Works from Cleveland. So, some stuff that, you maybe not been to that brewery or it's hard to find that particular style beer.
Right.
That's the whole purpose of this is to give you an experience that you've not had before. To come in and say, I've never had that before, that was great. I've never had that before, that was great. And top of like I said, this space is perfect for a beer fest.
It really is.
With the stage, the parking, obviously all the food. It's just a perfect space. It's not a convention center where everything's being kind of shipped in. It's already here. It's ready to go. It's ready to rock. That's the biggest thing. That's the infrastructure, I guess is
Yeah.
the word I'm looking for. The infrastructure is here for a great event. And you will see that difference between other events where you're looking for parking or you're looking which door to go in or, the setup isn't quite, there's some beers in Hall A and some beers in Hall C and
Right.
some beers by the bathroom. And literally we have a T-bone here and it's going to go straight up and T out and that's where all the beer is.
Right.
And then we have tons of vendors inside. So.
What are some of the vendors? Like what?
Well, the Cincy Hat by Ted Karras is going to be here.
Yeah.
CEI Sports is going to be here with quite a few cool things that you can bid and buy. So we've got like an Ellie De La Cruz picture. We've got some Taylor Swift pictures. I've got a signed Caddyshack poster signed by Chevy Chase.
That's
So
cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Some cool little stuff like that. On top of that, we've got like Nutterific. They'll be here roasting almonds. And that's what you smelled last year was the Nutterific.
Oh, yeah.
That beautiful, just roasted nut smell. And then, of course, we're benefiting Forgotten Dog Rescue and Cincinnati Animal Care. So a portion of every ticket that you buy from cincyticket.com will go into their pocket to hopefully save a dog.
Will there be dogs to pet?
There will be some adoptable dogs, and I'm even told that their newest beagle, who's a 12-year-old beagle in any wheelchair,
Oh,
will be here. So bring your checkbook.
wheelchair dog.
That is now why I'm the most excited about this event.
Oh, wheelchair dog. That needs to
Yeah,
be
she was telling me about it earlier today, and I was like, I don't know if I want you to bring that dog. Like, I would love to take another dog home, but my dog Harvey is a alpha. Like I have to fight him for the covers. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
We just got a
sounds
puppy
familiar.
in December, and so he's 7 months old now. He's still a puppy, but he is now like 54 pounds. He's this big old dog, and just doesn't understand that he's a big dog, and it's just
They never do.
oh man, what do we
81
get
pounds
ourselves
of pure
into? He's a big dog.
Aw, just a big baby.
So let's talk a little bit about Element Eatery itself. I know that a lot of people probably just, like I mentioned before, don't really understand kind of what the space is. If you can describe it for people, how would you describe it? What is Element Eatery?
So we are known for, constantly having updates on our food. All of the stalls are constantly trying to do things that are with whatever events are happening in town or whatever holiday is happening, so you can come in and expect something around that holiday. Like this coming weekend, we're doing Dad's Day out before Mother's Day, where we're doing a couple of beer specials for dads. Kids can come in and do Mother's Day decorations for their mom for free. And then we have a nighttime car show that's happening along with our live entertainment that we have on the stage. That's a good example of just one night at Element. You can grab a drink at our garden bar that's fresh and new. We do a lot of fresh squeezed juices, fresh botanicals, all kinds of different liquors on top of our 48 beers on draft. Then on Mother's Day, we're doing a whole Mother's Day promotion as well, with a build your own bouquet for mom. We're going to do all kinds of, I'm trying to remember what else we have that day. I have a lot in my head right now.
Because there's so much going on.
I know there's so much going on.
There's so much going on here. It's an entertainment destination. I mean, on Monday night, we do trivia. On Tuesday, there's family bingo. On Wednesday night, there's music bingo. On Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, there's live music. On top of everything else that's going on with, it's the fairy godmother or the building of bouquets. It's an entertainment destination that 7 days a week you can come and have a good time.
Don't forget about happy hour with DJ Diamond.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Of course.
So on the surface, it's physically it's like a food court like you're used to, where you come in and there's food kind of all around the edges. At the end, down at one end, there's a big bar, four-sided bar. There's just tons of seats, and then outside is where the stage, and there's patios and places that you can sit out there, and that's where all of kind of the entertainment and all of that stuff is going on. Like, it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it to people. Like, it's kind of like an outdoor mall.
It's one of a kind
that's
location.
More food and drink focused,
and definitely elevated as well. Yeah.
When that's you keep mentioning cocktails and things like that. When you guys are talking about cocktails, you're not talking about just some kind of crappy cocktail program. Like, it's actual, like, people that care about cocktails. It's fresh ingredients. It's a real cocktail bar, which sometimes you sit down and you see something on a cocktail. So, that sounds great. And then you sit in there to, like, just pouring some kind of crap. And like, oh, man, like, that's not really
I had one of
their
new old fashions the other day, and it was absolutely delicious.
Did you have it smoked?
I did have it smoked.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I implore people just to come here and experience what this actually is, because it's so hard to kind of describe to people, because it is very unique. There's nowhere else here in Cincinnati that's like this. I assume somewhere else in the country there is, but I don't know. I don't go anywhere else. I like Cincinnati.
It's always entertaining here. There is always something going on. Always, always, always. Yeah.
Let's dive into kind of everybody's stories a little bit. Let's talk about everybody's kind of craft beer story. How did you guys get into craft beer? When did that happen? How did it happen? Was there a moment or?
I fell in love with craft beer when I was still in college. I had a buddy that was working at the Growler Market on the west side. It's at maybe a beer market.
Beer market,
yeah. He was working at a beer market as a summer job, and he came back to OU. We all went to Ohio University, and he came back with an IPA or something like that.
Nobody drinks beer at OU.
That's so true. No, not one person.
Jack Hughes.
Yes, exactly. And I had it, and it was so good. And then, so my next summer job was at the Casual Pint in Loveland when I was 21. It was when I was there, and we had 30 taps, and every day coming in and trying something different and just Googling the beer style and just totally being a nerd about it. And then from there, I really fell in love with the beers that I had from 50 West. So I was at 50 West for 4 or 5 years. Really enjoyed my time there. And from there, I moved to Carrican Spirits, so got more into the distilling and the cocktails of it all, designing the menu, running the front of house. I worked with Mandy at the pub, where I got to learn a lot about international beers, which was really fun.
Shout out to Fuller's.
Shout out to Fuller's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
London
Fuller's.
Pride, ESB.
Yes, Smittix, all of it was so good. And then we came here, and having 48 taps is awesome. Shout out to my lead bartender, Ryan. He does a great job curating the tap list. And yeah, it's just been such a fun journey. Craft beer is so fun.
It's an underappreciated thing, and the same goes for putting together a list for a beer festival, is kind of keeping taps that get a little bit of everything, that don't lean too hard one direction, to not let your own personal biases kind of fall into it, and just have it loaded up with IPAs.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys like your IPAs. It's fine, but like, there are other beer styles out there.
Totally. Right now I've got a Italian Pilsner from Branch and Bone called Gorlami.
Oh, that's a great beer.
I hadn't had until Ryan showed it to me, and it's so good.
Yeah, I didn't even ask you guys what you were drinking.
Yeah, this is the Gorlami, and man, I love a good Italian Pilsner, and this is maybe the best one I've had.
Yeah, Italian
Highly
Pilsner
recommend.
has no Italian spices in it, for the record. Anybody that's been curious, it's just a dry hopped Pilsner. That's all it is.
So smooth, but got more flavor. I don't know. It's great. I love it. Yeah, I swear.
And what did you pour me?
Oh, the Pachanga.
Yeah.
Pachanga from Sun King.
Pachanga.
Pachanga from
Yeah,
Sun King.
it's delicious.
Mandy loves Mexican lager.
I do. It is.
We've got a couple good ones coming.
Yeah, it is my my new favorite style of beer. How far do you want to go back? And I'm like, dude.
What was the moment for you, like, where you started drinking, we'll say, better beer?
'Kay.
Where the light bulb went off that...
So I started drinking Natty Light at
Same.
at the young age of, we will not say, we'll just say 21, and
So last year.
Yeah, last year. Thanks, Bill. But I honestly did not know anything about beer until I started working for Tavern Restaurant Group, which is where Jack and I eventually met. But they are wonderful with educating all of their staff on what makes beer and what changes the flavor by adding hops. And, they really educated me. And I then started learning about IPAs and things that you don't really see very often anymore, like cask conditioned beers.
Yeah.
That was something that I fell in love with when I was there. Now, tapping them, did not enjoy that. We made messes a lot.
It's fun to watch people tap.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. But that was my start. And Schneiderweiss, that was my favorite beer for a really long time. When I moved on to wheats, unfiltered, delicious wheat.
Yeah.
Really, really like that one. My go-to has always been Guinness. I'm a Guinness girl.
I can respect that.
Yeah, always loved it. But I like all beer now. But for my moment right now, I'm hooked on the Mexican lagers.
Summertime, it's Mexican lager time.
Yes.
Mandy.
It's funny how, like, there's that moment for almost everybody where, like, you were drinking what you thought was beer, and then all of a sudden you try something, and you're like, well, wait a minute, like, this is not anywhere close to that thing that everybody's been telling me is beer. What is this?
Yeah.
And then you go down this rabbit hole, and like, okay, well, if that's this, like, what is Guinness? Like, what is that now? And then you try that, and then like, what is this? And then you start trying all these different things, and then it, like,
The Brooklyn Bel Air Sour was a big moment for me. That blue and pink packaging.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I grabbed that when I was 22 and like a pack of sour gummy worms and would just try to make my head explode with sourness.
Oh my God.
It was a fun game to play. I don't do that anymore. But
Sounds like heartburn waiting to happen to me now.
He ripped all his taste buds off for a while, I'm sure.
yes, watching Game of Thrones in 2018 with a 6-pack of sour beer. It was awesome.
What about you, Bill? Like, craft beer?
I can tell you the exact moment. It was 2014. We were doing an Eatery Brewing
Oh, nice.
beer dinner.
Wow.
And for the first time, I tasted the double imperial IPA called the Maharaja,
The Maharaja.
which is also a 13% beer.
Right.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been the higher the ABV IPA guy, the better. So I talk about the West Side Brewing. They do a really good job with that. But Avery's Maharaja is still my favorite beer of all time.
Yeah, I've sought that beer out. I can't find it.
It's hard to get.
It's
Yeah.
so
I've never
good,
had that
though.
one.
It's hard to get, but it's also expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. They it was just a seasonal, and it was so very popular because it was so damn good. They started back in 2016, 17, 18, started actually having it available. And I don't know if it's still available.
You don't see a lot of Avery beer anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those brands that unfortunately has kind of, it was huge when we were, early craft beer drinkers.
Yeah.
But then because Cincinnati has become what it is, like it just isn't around as much. It's still around, but it's not
The
as much.
Salvation was one of the first ones that I had from them. I believe it was a white ale. It's been a really
White
long
Rascal was the other one.
and
that
White
was
Rascal.
really good.
Yeah. Yep.
In fact, I can't even remember the last time I had an Avery beer. Now it's
been
bothering me.
forever.
Right.
You just can't. It's
It's
just
going to be
hard
my
to
quest
find.
over the next
The
week
White
or
Rascal
two.
makes me think of the Allagash White.
Oh, man.
I have my sister-in-law is from the East Coast, and every time they go, I'm like, please, if you can stop and grab me some, that'd be awesome. They're like gold.
We were on vacation somewhere within the last year or two, and I remember we walked into a grocery store or something, getting our groceries to stock up the Airbnb, and there was a bunch of Allagash White sitting on the shelf, and I made this little yelp sound. Everybody kind of looked at me. I'm like, no, you don't understand. And nobody understands because it's one of their regular. It's like truth for
totally.
us, It's just always there, and I'm like, no, it's just I've missed this beer so much. I'm grabbing 6 packs of it.
It's like the MacGuffin from Pulp Fiction, just glowing.
Right. And I think that's going back to beer festivals again. One of the other things that kind of sometimes I appreciate is that there are beers that maybe have been around that I've seen, that I've had plenty of times, that I've kind of ignored a little bit because there's other things that I walk in somewhere, I'm like, oh, I haven't tried that before, I've got to try that, and then before you know it, you've had your couple pints and it's like, all right, that's all I can drink, I gotta go home. Whereas at a beer festival, you'll see things like, I haven't had that in a while. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and have that because you just go grab your taste.
It's funny because we've done quite a few of these over the years, and the one that always people were like, I've never tried that before, and it's been around forever. But it's Little Kings.
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course.
I love Little Kings.
Little
we do
Kings.
Little King chugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just sip it. I mean, you got to take the whole weight emphasis to the head. But that's the one that people were like, I've never had a Little Kings. So, we'll ask, hey, what did you, I've never had a Little Kings, never had a Little Kings. So, how have you never had a Little Kings and live in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
But that's probably the biggest one that people have never tried and try, and they go, wow, that was really good.
And it's kind of hard to get right now, too. So being able to have that there is pretty awesome.
They're trying desperately to keep up with demand in the city. And
Shout out to Eric Bauman.
Yeah.
Brought him back. He was I worked with him was on the team that brought it back, or he was at Carrican with him. So I got to work with him a while and pick his brain.
Great brewer.
Yeah. Was around with helped drop Dale's Pale Ale, which was
Yeah.
Oh,
I
man,
believe
I
one of the
remember that.
first, if
Yeah.
not the first canned
It was the
craft
first
beer.
canned craft beer, yeah.
Yeah, just
Red, white, and blue, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
an amazing story. Great guy to pick his brain about and
I think he's
have a pint with.
I think he's in the weed industry now.
Yeah, that's what last I heard. He went to California.
Really happy.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Weed and beer. That's all you need for Eric.
Well, that's the cool thing, though, with Little Kings, Sinbev, they bought Taft's. So
Yeah.
we will actually have Taft's Gavel Banger here.
Oh, wow.
Which, what I'm told, is kind of hard to get now.
Yeah.
So we will have Taft's Gavel Banger, which, in my opinion, was their best beer.
Oh yeah.
I like the
By
Maverick.
far.
The Maverick with the chocolate
I hope
porter.
they bring that back.
That one was my favorite.
I had Elliot from Sinbev on a couple months ago, I guess, and we were talking kind of about how they manage all those brands and how they decide what to bring back and when they're going to bring it back. And I encouraged everybody then, encourage everybody now, send them lots of emails and messages and just pester them online about what you want to see from Taft's to come back, because
Voice of the people.
the more I think about it, the more memories will pop up or something about beers. I'm like, oh, I forgot that even ever existed. That needs to come back.
Yeah, their Oktoberfest was really good.
And that will definitely, so inside scoop, Oktoberfest will come back, and because they now have the Moorline brands and Taft's, they can kind of split those up into two different types of Oktoberfest. You can
sure.
go Märzen on one and Fest beer on the other. So,
boy.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I feel bad for whoever is the volunteer at the Sinbev booth having to open up all those Little Kings.
Yeah.
Pour in this little table and then open another.
I consider it a little sacrilegious, but
It'll be on tap.
it'll actually be on tap. It'll actually be on tap. So.
I'm okay with it, especially in a situation like a beer festival. There are a very few number of bars where I think Little Kings should be on tap. Like Urban Thelma's down in Northern Kentucky has always had Little Kings on tap. I'm okay with it there. I don't want it in a big glass. I need it in a tiny glass.
Right, right.
But,
I don't know that I could ever just sip on a Little Kings. It's got to be a
no, they go fast.
chug.
Yeah,
You
they
know
go
what I mean?
fast.
It's like, 2 gulps and it's gone. I don't know that I could sip on a little 8-ounce bottle. It just into my style.
There's something about lining up all the bottles as you drink them too. That it's just there's a lot of joy in Little
little
Kings.
killers, little
Yeah.
killers, absolutely.
Well, let's go kind of bigger picture of Cincinnati. Cincinnati is constantly changing. It's always evolving. Breweries, things like that, bars, restaurants. There's lots of really cool stuff happening. What about this city? Leaning towards the drinking side, but if we want to talk about food, we can talk about food too. What gets you guys excited right now? What are you seeing that is fun? What are the things that maybe you're like, really? Like that's going to be a trend, or that's what people are doing? Like,
Yeah. Well, we had since we just opened the Garden Bar in the past month, we for work purposes only had to do some research with
Right, of
a
course.
lot of local bars. You're
Yes.
familiar with this line of work. So we got to see some really great spots. I mean, we went everywhere from Somerset to New Riff to Merchants Club
Yeah.
in the back of Party's Horse.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to the bartenders there. They were amazing.
We had the
Another
best
underappreciated
time.
bar.
Yeah,
Yes.
that place was amazing. They talked to us the entire time. They had an entire Jimmy Buffett themed menu, which was so fun.
Hard work. It's hard work.
They had a house shot, which was so fun. I mean, they had a Topo Chico. Things got a little blurry there towards the end. It was a Paloma-inspired Topo Chico drink. There was a fat wash cheeseburger whiskey drink.
Yeah, that was the most interesting. That's what I actually was gonna say as well. Was the cheeseburger martini that
I don't know.
we
Yeah,
had?
it was whiskey, fat washed whiskey. It was like an ice cube infused with vodka, and then lettuce infused something else. Super,
Yeah.
super interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe not for everyone.
no,
but
I love that though.
for the adventurous drinker, I would definitely recommend it. And they always have creative stuff like that.
I always think it's funny because, like, we'll take beer just as the example. Beer has been around for literally centuries at this point. So, like, you would think that there's nothing you can do that is new and innovative. So, like, when you do see something that you've never seen before,
Exactly.
it's really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
That's so fun, but it was also fun to go to like the classic comfy spots because
Yeah.
Element is big and we like it big and stuff, but we also want to make it intimate so people can have
Right.
good experiences. So it's what is going to make people feel at home, but also adventurous.
Yeah.
I remember getting started in Pacifico was craft beer.
Oh, nice.
Like that was it was 4 taps, and Pacifico was our craft beer, and then we got like Kentucky Bourbon Barrel, which was super crafty.
Yeah.
And that was for years and years. And now there's there's sours, there's Mexican beers, there's IPAs, there's double IPAs, there's imperial IPAs, there's double, triple imperial IPAs. It's just all over the place. And like you said, there's always something new coming out, and that's the fun part is discovering something new, even if it's on an old gag. The way they're doing it is different. Same with Element Eatery. It might, food halls might be an old gag, but the way they're doing it is
Right.
far superior to everyone else.
Well, as a craft beer drinker, like there are times where you get a little worn out or a little tired with hops or whatever that thing is that you might be obsessed with in any given moment. And that doesn't mean that you have to just like leave this thing that you enjoy so much. It's like, oh, well, no. So, go drink a bunch of stouts for 6 months. Like, go and just like dive into that. And then like when you get tired of that, go dive into this. And like you can like drift around to other things and other experiences.
There's always new stuff. I got to try Esoteric's Belgian beer lineup that they rolled out just a few months ago, and that was delicious. It was great to have a fruit beer that wasn't insanely sour or too much.
Right.
Their Belgian fruit beer was delicious, stuff like that. So it's fun to see new styles kind of reinvented or rethought and just executed well.
Yeah.
I think it's also really awesome that a lot of places are doing session beers too, where you like it still has a lot of flavor, but you can sip on them all afternoon and not get blacked out,
Yeah.
which I think is good for everybody, especially the next day.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, depending on the day. But yeah.
I'm excited to watch how the non-alcoholic beer space keeps growing. I mean, we kind of have started hearing the news about Rheingeist and their line that they're working on, and man, I'm so excited to see how that kind of fits into people's normal drinking. Like, if we can get to that point where there's non-alcoholic beer that tastes as good as regular beer, and you
Yeah.
can kind of filter it in between other beers, oh man, it's just I'm excited for it.
But just like you said, with the drinking culture in the city, it just watching as it gets warm, and just as someone that goes out in the winter, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's quiet. You get to actually have a conversation a little bit. But in the summer, everyone's coming out.
Yeah.
You just like can watch the city come alive.
Yeah.
I remember in February there was like one of those 70-degree days that you get in February every year, and all of a sudden all of downtown was just filled, and you're like, oh yeah, it's one of those days. So it's fun to just watch that kind of happen throughout the year.
I don't get me wrong, I enjoy like that vibe of it's cold outside, it's snowy, it's like you're bundled up and you get into a bar that's warm and cozy.
Your local dive.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's like, and then like it just feels like you're walking into a living room, and it's like that warmth is so amazing. But there's nothing that compares to those spring days when you finally first get, the windows are open, or you
Opening
got
day.
garage doors and stuff like that are open, and just you feel like you're just so connected to the rest of the city at that point. And
You're
it's
like,
like,
I wanna go to a
if
Reds
walk,
game. That's
if I want to
awesome.
walk across the street, I'll just walk across the street.
do
It's
it.
fine. It's not going to hurt my face to be outside.
Yeah, I don't need my
That's
coat.
so true,
I
though.
love it.
Not gonna
Yeah.
forget my coat.
I'm not a fan of the cold, if anybody didn't put that.
Unless I have a beer jacket on, then it's whatever.
Even then, I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
Your nose starts running. And,
Yes.
Oh, I hate it.
But yeah, getting outside to a 3-2-1 Tuesday at the Reds game is always fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. It really is hard to beat kind of that feeling of the warm weather.
Gosh, amazing.
Let's talk breweries. I know that there's a lot of breweries that are. Let's put it this way: the things that aren't on the beer list for the Bacchus Beerfest. What are some places that you guys love and that you're pretty excited about?
Ooh.
Cincinnati, but I guess we can go outside of Cincinnati too if there's a place that you
I know.
guys love.
I'm like, ooh, that's
that are not on the list.
that are not on here.
What are things
Oh
that
my
you've
gosh.
been drinking lately that you're like, man, that's really great?
Man, I've been making a cocktail menu makes me drink a lot of spirits. So
Okay.
I've been having more spirits, but
Yeah.
in the beer scene, I mean, I'm a sucker for a Hootie Delight every once in a while too. Don't get me wrong. Not something nice and classic. Let me see. Ryan was just having something the other day. Oh, Northern Rose. Northern Rose stuff has been so great recently.
Oh yeah, they're killing it.
They just dropped an Islander Juicy IPA, which was really great.
I haven't tried it yet, but
And
I saw it in the store.
We'll get you a drop. We'll get you a drop before you leave. And their designer, Hefeweizen, so delicious. That's
also,
a great local brand.
their first bourbon is set
Yeah,
to be
right.
released this summer, and I'm really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
Award winner already. Like we're gonna be incredible.
From what I remember, they wanted to be a distillery from the jump, and they
Yeah.
got a good piece of advice that was like, if you're going to be a distillery, you might as well make beer
Yeah.
too, because it's going to take forever
Yeah.
to get off the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Devin over there. He's a great sales rep. Been coming here forever, and he's a great dude. Great musician too.
I don't think that there is a person right now at Northern Row that I don't love. Everybody that I've encountered over there has been
They
just
hosted
amazing.
us. They hosted us when we were at the pub. They had our whole bar staff come out, gave us a
Yeah.
full tour, took us down in their Christian Moorline basement.
Yeah.
Whatever, like 2 floors beneath the ground for their lagering cellar. A little creepy, but super fun.
Have you ever had somebody turn the lights off when you're down there? Because it's all on one light switch, and it just turns everything black.
No
You would
thanks.
have heard lots
terrifying.
of screaming. Yeah.
I know. I did one of those ancient city brewery tours where they take you down.
Yeah.
It was just like in the random closet.
I've always wanted to
The
do that.
Heritage City.
Yeah, it was
those
just
are
like
fun.
in a closet in OTR. There was like someone's bike was held up, and then there was like a do not, but whatever I guess was fine. And went down some scaffolding, and we're in the lagering cellars.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
That is really
It's just
cool.
beneath our feet.
I need
There's-
to do
and,
that.
and there are still more that haven't been found
Yeah.
in Cincinnati.
I'm
'cause
sure there are.
At some point, they just closed them up,
Yeah.
and then they forgot about them.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah.
I would love to do one of those tours.
Yeah.
That's definitely on my bucket list when I find some time.
Our
I
tour-
suggest you reach out to the Brewing Heritage Trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
We're
got a note over to
working
Ron.
on a project. This is not sponsored by the Brewing Heritage Trail, but they're the best.
Yeah, our tour guide was great, but he was our tour guide was great, but he was a slightly older gentleman, and so going down that scaffolding was like, okay, all right, if anyone falls, I have to. It was slightly stressful, and we had a few beers,
Right.
but it was a great time.
Oh, goodness.
What about you, Bill? Things that aren't on the list that breweries that you've been really digging lately?
That's tough because the way we research is by going to these breweries.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
the obviously Westside Brewing and their collaboration with Gilligan's has been
Oh,
really
that's
cool.
so cool. Yeah.
So Gilligan's is one that is new in my books. Of course, Hearth Brewing out in Harrison, Ohio, is something that has been new to me.
I need to check that out, too.
And DVD Brewing up in Loveland is
Yeah.
also a new spot for me. So while they're on the list, those are the kind of places
I'll
I've been-
accept it.
those are the kind of places I've been hitting up. I mean, there really hasn't been any place that I've gone that kind of isn't on the list.
Right.
So, other than I can't think of one. So
Listerman is Listerman because I love Listerman. That's one of my local spots.
Yeah,
Don't think we have it on here.
Listerman is a lot of fun, and I know that they are constantly trying to kind of figure out how to reinvent what they do, but not get too
whole
far
new
away
story
from.
at Listerman.
Yeah, I know their journey's been Yeah, something to follow. It's been fun.
Yeah,
There's a lot of places like that. Like
we can do
I
a whole podcast on that.
I know, like you mentioned Carrican,
Yeah.
and I know that like when you were at Carrican, it was one thing.
Yes,
And it is
the-
definitely something a little bit different now over there. And so, like, watching some of those places kind of try to figure out how to evolve when things
of course.
change or go to hell.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. Just people trying their best, and sometimes, just like in life, sometimes works out. Sometimes you learn a lesson.
I enjoy kind of watching how those stories kind of change over time. I think that's part of the fun for me. So.
Totally. No, 13 Below. 13 Below, shout out.
Yeah, 13 Below is. I know that they, with all the flooding recently,
Oh
they
my
could
gosh,
they
I
could
didn't
use some
think about
people to
that.
go down there and grab a beer. So if you,
I found them accidentally one time. I was on the west side and was just like, oh my gosh, there's a brewery right here. And then what's the bar that's next to it? It's like Paradise or
no, the Cabana on the
Cabana.
river.
Oh my gosh. And my best friend's a west side, and I was like, have you heard of this place? He's like, yeah, we went every Friday for my entire childhood. What are you talking about? I'm like, if you're not on the west side, you've never heard of Cabana.
Right.
I feel like
no. Well, and that's the thing.
maybe
too,
they like it that way, so sorry. But
We've now gotten to the point in Cincinnati where there are so many breweries that people all have their own spot in their neighborhood. So, like, once you find a reason to get out and kind of explore something else, you're going to find something new.
Yeah.
And that's, again, going back to beer festivals, that's part of what I love about it is it forces people to kind of try things that maybe they say, oh, West Side.
Yeah.
I don't ever go to the West Side, but now I could try the beer.
Yeah, the
And
West
then-
Side is just
or
one
let's
place.
say,
discovered the best double IPA
for
in the
Grainworks
city.
is a good example. They're up in Westchester. Well, maybe you've never gone to Alexandria Brewing Company, which is all the way down in Alexandria. Probably about an hour drive.
Yeah.
So they'll be here with 4 different brewers. So it's an opportunity to check out a whole bunch of different stuff. Like you said, if you're from maybe Westchester and don't go to Kentucky, or if you're on the west side and don't go to the east side, and 50 West will be here. So.
It's funny you mentioned Westchester and Alexandria in the same side. They've been putting out some weird teasers on their social media recently. I don't know if anybody has seen that. It's pretty strange. Full disclosure, they're a client of mine. I can't say more.
There's no Third Eye on the list. Third Eye's been giving us great stuff recently too.
Yeah, Third Eye is
Third Eye's
delicious.
incredible.
They're no secret. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Third Eye's been crushing it.
I wonder how many, like, if you go to like the casual craft beer drinker, if they have figured out places like Third Eye yet, because they still they're not new, but they're also not one of those kind of huge brands that is everywhere yet.
Yeah.
Still, so
Kinda
But
like
they
Another
make really
cheese.
good beer. Yeah.
Yeah,
great
they've
beer.
always had great
And,
stuff.
and some of them, unfortunately, don't want to participate in beer festivals.
Sure,
Yeah.
I get it.
That's
Yeah.
one issue we've had. We've reached out to 13 Below, we reached out to Third Eye, and invited them to the festival, and they politely declined. So it's an opportunity where people will want to get their beer in other
Sure.
people's hands. They've never been have an opportunity to do so, and if you don't want to do so, then there's nothing we can do for you. So,
However, if you're at the beer festival and you really want a Third Eye beer, you can probably come inside and find
Yeah,
one.
you sure can.
I've heard
Yeah.
that before with just distributing in general. Like some of the smaller breweries are like, distributing just isn't worth
It's,
it
yeah.
for us because we don't have product for our tap room. The profit margins aren't great. So I get it. It's hard, but you want to have everyone, as many as you can at least.
It's the world is constantly changing on both ends for us as drinkers and for them as breweries too, and like it's trying to find the things that move the needle, the things that don't, the things that are worth spending the time and the manpower to. There are a lot of breweries that are they don't want to send somebody here to hang out and talk about beer and stand next to the booth and stuff.
and that's one of the things that I'm insistent on is I want
should
a
be.
brewery
Should
rep
be,
here
yeah.
to talk about their beer. I want it to not only be fun, but also, for lack of a better term, educational.
Sure.
Especially like a floral beverage or something you've never had before. I want to be able to talk about, 2.5 milligrams. What is it? Or what is in this sour beer? Or have somebody with knowledge instead of just one of our great volunteers going, here's beer. You know what I mean? I want somebody, just like your local bartender has the knowledge of the beer. I want somebody to have that knowledge, to share the knowledge with you if you have a question, which gives you an opportunity to buy it in the bar or buy it at your local bar or go to Kroger and buy it or go to that brewery and hang out and buy it. So that's one of the things I'm really insisting on is having
to the
a
brewery.
brewery rep, having a brewery rep here to talk beer. So, and it is a long day. We are going to start at 2. We are going to end at about 9. So it will be a very long day, but there's plenty of food. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of drink.
And you don't have to hang out the whole time. Come and hang out, and if you start to get to the point where it's time for you to go home, take a nap, go home, take a nap. Go home, take a nap, and come back.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
It's a long day for sure. So
I'm excited for it. I think that, like I said, it's really hard to create beer festivals that kind of check all those boxes for people, provide a space that everybody feels like it's what they want the festival to be, and this is it. Like it's dead on to what I think an environment should be, a tap list should be, entertainment should be. Like it's great, and it's like a really, really, really well done festival. So
Thank you.
I'm excited for it. If you don't have tickets yet, I'm probably giving some away on social media. Probably, if you're listening to this when it drops, I'll probably give some away like today or tomorrow. So make sure you're following the Gnarly Gnome on everything. I don't know where I'm going to give them away. I haven't figured that out yet. So just follow everything.
Yeah.
Or you can buy them at cincyticket.com, which
You can
is
do that, too.
CINCYticket.com. Just in case you don't win a ticket, buy a ticket.
Yeah, link in the
Come
show
get some
notes.
beers, come get some food.
I'll put links for not only where you can get your tickets to the festival, I'll give links to social media for Element Eatery and for everything here so that you can come check it out even when there isn't a beer festival, because it's going to be a different vibe then too. Like if you come here for lunch during the week, it's a very different feeling than during a beer festival where there's naked karate girls outside raising all kinds of hell.
Yes.
And just because this is our third time talking about Beerfest, I think third or fourth time talking about Beerfest,
Something like that.
we're going to drop a code for you for $5 off a ticket.
Ooh,
The code's going to be really complicated. The code is beer.
beer.
So when you go to cincyticket.com, type in what ticket you want. It'll say coupon code. Just for the Gnarly Gnome, use coupon code beer, and we'll knock $5 off the ticket price.
Heck yeah.
Sweet.
There's not any excuse you can come up with not to come.
Absolutely.
Anything you guys want people to know about Element Eatery that we think that we didn't cover?
We are
What's on
doing
the menu?
Yeah, we're doing our grand opening of the Garden Bar on the day before Beerfest.
So to clarify for people, it is a rebranding of the bar that was already here. It's not like it's a new bar. It's
It is actually a new
a
bar.
reimagining.
New liquor license.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as that
Yep.
goes, for technicality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they will have stuff you actually want.
Yeah.
We're not going to go down that road.
So we got a whole other podcast on that one too.
I'm
But
still friendly with everybody.
We're all friends.
Yeah, we're doing a grand opening the day before Beerfest. We are starting at 3:00 with DJ Johnny B, and he's gonna play for a couple of hours, and then we're gonna have Ethan and Joey, who are gonna hang out all night long until we close. We're extending our hours, and we're gonna be open until. Now I'm putting my foot in my mouth.
At least 11.
Yeah, at least 11 that night.
Check,
party's still going?
check social
Yes.
media.
Yes, if the party's still going, we will stay open until, our liquor license tells us to close. But yeah, we're expecting a really awesome night. We're going to have some balloons and all kinds of other fun things.
We have a special beer getting infused for us from
Yeah.
Esoteric that we're really excited
Ooh, that's
about.
fun.
Yes.
Yes, we're playing around with it. I don't want to say exactly, but it's going to be Mexican lager with some fun fruit and herbs added to it to reflect our garden bar here.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Something unique, a unique variant just for us that they're doing. So shout out to Esoteric. They've always been awesome. So happy to work with them there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good people.
Yeah,
Come
we're
try
super
some.
stoked, though. So
course.
please come join us. But don't get too crazy because we need you to come out for Beerfest, too.
Eat food while
Eat
you're drinking.
food.
We didn't think about
Yes.
this. We should have just brought cots or something. People can just sleep
Yeah.
and then just wake up the next
Bunk
day.
beds lined
Yeah.
up against one wall.
Exactly.
You can stay at the Summit Hotel next
oh,
door.
yeah, of course, we got a hotel
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
something that we should mention as well. They are, I'm pretty sure, still got some spots for that night. So if anybody does want to spend the nights and not have to worry about getting an Uber or a designated driver.
That goes for the festival day too. Like if there's
Yes.
rooms up, like there's no reason that you have to find some person to get you home. Like you can
safety
you can just stay
first.
here.
Yeah.
Safety first. We've got obviously we encourage people to ride share.
Sure.
We do have our friends at Cincy Local Live with a hydration station, so there will be free bottles of water. And then we also do have the fabulous people of the Madisonville City Council will be here giving out pretzels, so you get a free snack.
Heck
Can't
yeah.
beat it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Garden Bar's got something for everyone. We've got fresh cocktails, 48 taps, revamped wine list, NA offerings for everything from mocktails to THC seltzers to NA beers. So
Awesome.
something for everyone. Come get some delicious food, park at the bar, and we'll get you some drinks.
Heck yeah. And again, links in the show notes to social media and all that so you can kind of see for yourself. I assume that there's the menu is probably posted somewhere for people to be able to read it and kind of look for themselves. Or
We're still finalizing because we're newer and we want it to be the best it can be, but it will be posted.
Just come in here.
Just follow,
Just come in here, sit at the bar.
Exactly.
That is the best place to read any menu at the bar.
Absolutely.
I appreciate all of you guys making the time to sit down with me.
Thank you.
Happy to do it.
thank
Been a fan
you.
for a long time, for the record.
Thank you. Come in, check out the place. You know what? This week, come in, sit at the bar, check out the new menu, try something to drink, get something to eat, and buy your tickets while you're sitting at the bar for the beer festival.
There you go.
Perfect.
Boom, you can do it all.
Genius.
We'll be back probably not next week for the show, but we'll be back soon. As a reminder, this show is brought to you by people like you, because that's we don't like to run commercials. This is the commercial. TheGnarlyGnome.com/support, and you can become a Gnomie, and that comes with all kinds of free stuff and exclusive early access to things, and it's tons of fun. So do that if you like any of this stuff. If not, just share with your friends. That's how this thing keeps growing. I appreciate all of you. We will be back soon, one of these weeks, for another Brewcast. Monday nights we do the Weekly Pint. That is a weekly podcast. You can check that one out. Go to Facebook or YouTube or whatever your favorite podcast player is, and listen that way. Thank you guys.
Yeah, come back and see
Cheers.
us.
See everybody soon. Cincy
Yeah.
Brewcast. It's the voice of Cincy Craft. Cheers.
Cincy forever.
Cheers.
Hooday.
Cheers. Cheers.